back in my crackhead days.
Come on, boys, it's time to hit a quick 10-hour session of League of Legends. Let's go, baby.
6 months later.
Your dumbass hasn't done the meditation session, piano playing session, gym. What the are you doing wasting your time, my boy? Having returned to playing games was honestly just a really weird experience. So the story basically began, I want to say 6-7 months ago-ish, when we were playing League, and I think I was already in the mindset that I wanted to quit. I just didn't take the choice on it. So the opportunity kind of arose when one of my friends was saying, okay, this game, you know, if you ever played League of Legends, you know exactly what the fuck I'm saying. So you say, this game, let's uninstall. We said that. There's one difference. He uninstalled, but I stuck to that choice for another 6 months, 7 months-ish, I want to say. And I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that those 7 months was the most progress I think I've ever made in terms of my self-improvement. And in terms of social life, in terms of gym, everything seems to have skyrocketed once I quit. Which, am I shocked? No, I'm not shocked. I knew exactly that was gonna happen, but I guess I never took the action to do so. It was definitely an interesting experience. One thing that you'll notice right away is that you feel less shit of yourself, right? You feel so much better because you're not wasting time. And as I kind of alluded in the intro earlier on, that voice that's saying, why are you wasting your time? What the are you doing? That voice is no longer there. And you know what I'm talking about in terms of the voice, right? It was a very good time, for sure. And when you quit games, this thing happens where you realize your life is no longer as good as you initially thought it was. So what do you have to do now? You have to start from the scratch. You have to start from step 1 and build your life all the way to what it was, the equivalent of in games. And does that take work? Yes, it does. But there's plenty of ways to do it. You can literally just take, okay, what do I want? I got no friends? Okay, let's make some friends. My body is shit? Okay, let's build it up. I have no skills? Okay, let's build some skills up. And you kind of take it one step at a time and improving each one of them. And I know that this is supposed to be my experience of having returned to the games, but I kind of want to show the contrast between what was and what happened. So, well, I guess we might as well get to that. So, after my exam season finished and everybody kind of moved away from Cardiff, which was the city that I study in, I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored. There's nothing to do. Let's play with my old friends that I used to play League with. So I'm like, okay, cool. We go back. We play some games. Do you know what's the first thing I noticed? I was so uncomfortable. It's wild, honestly. Like, it's wild how uncomfortable I was feeling. And I wasn't feeling uncomfortable in terms of like playing the game because, to be honest, I was as good as I used to be. The uncomfortable came from the fact that I no longer felt like this was where I belonged. Because beforehand, I definitely felt like I was belonging in this place. But now I wasn't. And I have no idea what the hell happened. Or, well, I do know. I think I was already getting this idea of there's so many things that I would rather do. Or there's so many things that I could do instead of doing this. For example, in some of the days that I was playing League, I know for a fact I dropped some meditation sessions. I dropped some piano sessions. I dropped some Muay Thai sessions, I want to say that. All to play. And you don't realize how it is until I did this recently, and like when I saw it, I think this was one of the trigger points that made me quit again. So if you're unaware, I think I played League again for, I want to say, a week, and then I dropped it. Or at max, I think I played another 10 days. So the thing that made me quit completely was after a day, I went to the match history to see if you don't know League, basically in League you can get your match history and then realize how many games you've played in a day. And this website that I know also shows you the time that you played for. I did the calculation. I played for around 3.5 hours. Now, to anyone that's been like a gamer for like a little bit, you know that that's not that much. But for me, having thought that I wasted 3.5 hours on this shit made me lose my mind. It got so bad to the stage where I had to go to like my cousin to speak to him to have like a discussion about what was going on with me. And actually, shout outs to my cousin, because he was the one that actually made me think, okay, drop this shit completely. It's not for you. And so I did. Well, it wasn't actually very difficult. The difficulty came from telling my friend that I don't want to play the game anymore. It wasn't actually. This is something else that you'll find interesting. I don't think it was the chaser effect, because if it would have been the chaser effect, I would have played even without him. But I didn't feel the desire to. And do you wanna know why I think it is? I've built my life in such a way that now I didn't feel the need to play games anymore. That void was no longer there, right? Now I feel so satisfied with the current levels of life that I have that I no longer feel the necessity to play games anymore. And it's obviously a wonderful feeling, but at the same time, I'm wondering, is it because of the life that I developed, or is it because of the fact that the game got stale? I mean, if the game got stale, that's none of my concerns. You can die in a rut for like a league of cancer. But it was one of those things that the difficulty wasn't in quitting the game. It was in quitting the friends that you have from the game. And I think that's where my issue came. And especially if you're kind of a people pleaser, I definitely know that I am somewhat of a people pleaser. I definitely will try to like kind of do twists and turns just to keep people happy. I definitely had a bit of an issue, but I knew that, okay, I don't want to stay in this. This is not the life that I want. How do I get the life that I actually want? So that's definitely how it happened. It was tough to quit, but it was tough to leave your friends behind. But my mentality is, if they are only asking me to hang out because we play games, then is that really a friendship? Some people could say yes. I think that it's much more worth it to try to develop your real life relationships and, go out there rather than try to get this from an online medium. Because the online medium is not that reliable. And I know what is reliable, and it's out there. It's people do you actually meet on a day-to-day basis. And I would say that for anyone that's like debating whether or not they want to quit games because they have online friends, I'd say it's definitely a scary process. Me telling you right now, quit your online friends and go out there and search, like, it's not really useful because it's not as easy as it seems. However, what I'll say is, ask yourself whether or not you feel that there is a certain potential in you. And you will be able to understand, like, that right there, that sentence that I just said. I said, ask yourself if there's potential in you. If something sparked at me saying that, then consider trying to go out there. If nothing sparked when I said that whether or not you have potential, then maybe it's worth developing yourself and then asking that question again. Because I think the moment that you realize that you have some potential in you is the moment you're also willing to go out there and explore the unknown. There's a very nice quote in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules, or Beyond Order, another 12 Rules for Life. And it says that, he says, the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't know. But he also mentions, don't be so sure about that. Because the devil that you don't know might actually be an angel, but you don't know that. And you're still sticking with the same environment, even though what's out there might be way more gratifying than what you're expecting. And as per the usual, you already know, this is a similar scenario, but you are predestined. But you can choose to defy your destiny.